I've been really working to a deadline this week. I had 3 design deadlines, and I also had deadline for getting stuff ready before I go on holiday tomorrow. And there's been a lot of stuff to do. I've been working all weekend, and I must admit I'm feeling a little bit exhausted, but I got a lot of stuff done, so I'm really pleased with that. So in this episode, I'm going to share the progress on fixing my pink sweater, where I had to cut the sleeve off last week, and the progress on my colourful cardigan, and also what I'm planning to take with me when I leave for Norway tomorrow. I haven't 100% decided yet, but I think I've decided what I'm going to take with me. I'm going to call some for a new project, I think, and take an existing project with me. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website yarnaddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And if you want to be notified every time I upload a video, please click the notification bell. So before we start talking about knitting progress, let me just let you know about a couple of things that are happening. So I've written this down. 23rd, I think, 23rd of March. I'm teaching at the Knitting Hotel. It is a beaded lace knitting workshop. It's probably full, but they do also accept day guests. So if they haven't already taken a day guest booking, you might be able to get in as a day guest. You can come just for the day of the workshop, or you can do the whole weekend. Last weekend, and maybe the weekend before as well, I can't remember, I had somebody who stayed off site, and they just came for the day, every day, and did all the normal stuff. They just didn't stay there. So if you're interested in the Knitting Hotel, do contact them. I'll put their link below this video. In April, I'm teaching 2 workshops at Spinner Yarn in Bobby Tracy in Devon. It's just south of Exeter. 9th of April, I'm teaching finishing techniques. So everything to do with sewing up jumpers, doing short row shoulder shaping, 3 needle cast off, 3 different ways of doing mattress stitch, picking up stitches, knitting button bands, 1 row buttonholes, and a few other things. So if you're interested in that, contact Spinner Yarn. That workshop may be fully booked, I'm not sure, but contact them, and then if it's fully booked, you can always ask to go on their waiting list. And on the 16th of April at Spinner Yarn, I'm teaching my brioche basics workshop, which is how to knit basic 2-color brioche rib, and then moving into syncopated brioche, and then into maybe some increases and decreases. Some people need a whole day just to get the hang of the basic 2-color brioche rib, and some people, maybe 1 or 2 people in each workshop, can start moving into some increases and decreases in the afternoon. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm prepared to let you work at your own pace at that workshop. Brioche is not easy, and I highly recommend taking a workshop to learn how to knit brioche. If you don't live in the southwest of England, so you can't make it to any of these states, I do also have both of these courses, the finishing techniques course and the brioche course, Successful Brioche Knitting, as online courses. I'll link all my online courses below as well. In addition to my finishing techniques and my Successful Brioche Knitting online course, I also have online courses in Successful Socks and Successful Lace Knitting and Continental Knitting and Scandinavian Stranded Colourwork and Steeking. All the courses are self-guided. You can work through them in your own time and at your own pace. I'm there to answer any questions and help you along the way, and you keep indefinite access to the course. You can sign up at any time and then keep working through the course whenever you want to, and you can keep dipping in and out of it as needed. Okay, so let's talk about what I've been knitting this week. So it's been really busy this last, well, 2 weeks really. I had two deadlines a week ago. One of them I didn't get done in time, so I've done that this week. It's on my desk to post later today. And then I had another 2 deadlines, one deadline tomorrow and one deadline next week. But as I'm going to be away next week, I had to get that one done for today as well. So basically, I've had 3 things I've had to finish to post today. They're all on my desk ready. I've written all the patterns. 2 of them are knitted by 2 of my sample knitters, and usually when my sample knitters knit something for me, I will write the pattern in the sample size, and then I will get the sample back, do all the finishing, block it, whatever needs doing, and then I will write the rest of the pattern. So basically just touch up the pattern and make sure it's okay, and then add any sizes that I'm missing. So that's what I've been doing yesterday and this morning. I did 2 of the samples yesterday, or 2 of the patterns yesterday. Neither of those, both of those were accessory patterns, so they didn't need any additional sizes adding. And then I finished adding the additional sizes to 1 sweater pattern this morning. And the only thing I got left to do before I go to Norway tomorrow is to edit this video and upload to YouTube. I'm hoping it will upload before I leave. There is a chance it may not, because sometimes it takes overnight to upload, and I'm leaving very early in the morning. So we'll deal with that if it happens. And I've got to write my newsletter and schedule it to go out on Thursday. By the way, if you haven't signed up to my newsletter, do go to my website, YarnAddict.co.uk, and sign up, because that's where you're going to be kept up to date with everything. I find out about special offers and things as well. Okay, so let's talk about my pink sweaters. If you were watching me last week, you may remember that I had this like white patch on the back of one sleeve. Here, can you see this? I think basically what's happened is that the pink fluff from the alpaca, this is an alpaca silk and a tiny bit of merino. So the pink, I think, is the alpaca and merino, and the white that kind of shines through the fabric, you can see, is probably the silk, because silk doesn't dye. Silk needs different dyes to animal fibers. I know silk is technically an animal fiber, but it's not really the way it's dyed. It's dyed the way you would dye cotton and bamboo and things like that, if I remember correctly from when I used to do hand-dyed yarn. So I think what's actually happened is that the pink fluffy bits have kind of been stripped away, and I don't know why. Whether it's because it was probably at the back of my arm, so that it's been rubbing as I've been sitting. I don't know, it's on my right arm. So I guess when I knit, I use my right arm more, so maybe it's been rubbing as I've been sitting knitting. I don't know. The chair I sit and knit in is an armchair. So what I did was I cut this off last week, and was it more than a week ago now? I can't remember. Anyway, I cut this off and I re-knitted the sleeve. I had 1 pull of yarn left, 25-gram balls. I bought this yarn in Norway. It is the Dauma alpaca silk, I think. Bought it in Norway when I went last September, and I've had a few problems with this sweater. I ripped it a couple of times, so I've had to do some repairs on it. But I worn it a lot, and I had 1 25-gram ball left, and I wasn't sure that was going to be enough, and that's all I had left. I don't know how much that is. I haven't weighed it, but that's not a lot, a few grams. And I did manage to finish it. Now, you can kind of see where I knitted from. So it was here. Don't know how easy it is to see it on camera, but to me, this bit that I re-knitted looks much brighter pink and a bit fluffier. So that just shows me how much of this kind of pink fluff has kind of been stripped away, really. I wanted to knit, I love this yarn. It's slightly fluffy, but it's not so fluffy that it leaves me covered in fluff. I don't like mohair yarns, I just find them too fluffy. This one has a little bit of that kind of fluffiness, but it's not too fluffy. And I find some surreal alpaca yarns as well a bit too fluffy. So I was really pleased when I found this yarn. And I've knitted a lilac sweater in the same yarn with slightly narrower sleeves, because these sleeves are quite wide. And I was thinking when I go to Norway, I'll probably go to Norway again in September, and I was thinking then to maybe get some dark grey yarn in this and knit either a sweater or like a slip over waistcoat vest type thing. But I'm not sure now, because I mean, I have worn this sweater a lot both at home, when I'm working, when I'm knitting, out and about, when I'm teaching. I've worn it a lot. And I just worry about the fact that all this fluffy bit seems to strip away. I don't think it's faded. It is this bit of the sleeve from here just looks fluffier, and the rest of the sweater doesn't. So at the moment it's quite obvious, but hopefully it'll be okay. I don't think anyone's going to notice really. I did wear the sweater when I walked the dog this morning because I was quite warm. It's a bit milder here today, and it was sunny. So I'm glad I managed to fix that sweater. I was really worried about running out of yarn. I was thinking if I do, I could get some more in Norway next week. The shop, my mum's local yarn shops don't stock this yarn, but there's another yarn shop in a nearby town that used to at least stock it. Because I bought one ball from there a while ago, like a year ago maybe. So I'm glad that's finished. That's probably going to come to Norway with me. I have packed. I haven't finished packing yet. I've got to pack my knitting and then see what space I've got left. What I normally do with this one, because I'm not going to wear it when I leave home, I don't think. I have these compression packing cubes. I usually put it in the smallest one of those. And then when you zip it up, it kind of pushes all the air out of it. Then I normally put that in the bottom of my backpack so that if I don't want to wear it, it's just in the bottom and, you know, out of the way kind of thing. And if I want to wear it, I can just pull it out, take it out of the packing cube and put it on. I may wear it on the train if it's cold, or at the airport, or on the plane. We'll see. I think I'm worried it's going to be too warm to wear my coat, so I was thinking this would be useful to have instead, if I can't wear my coat because it's too warm. So I'm going to take this to Norway with me if I can find room for it. My suitcase is not completely full. I'm actually surprised how much space I've got left. Let's get on to what else I've been knitting. I haven't done well, no, I've done a bit on the sock. I shared last week that I'm knitting some socks for my husband. I've done a little bit. I don't think I've done a lot. What have I done since last week? When did I film? Yeah, no, I may have done a couple of rounds. I don't think I've done a lot on this. I haven't got much yarn left. Oh, I'm a bit fluff on it. That's the 50 gram. I divided the ball into 250 grams, so that's a full ball, and that's what I have left. I had hoped to finish the first sock before I go to Norway, but I've had too many other things to knit, quite frankly. So I'm going to leave that behind. I'm not going to take that. I was considering taking, hang on, let me just grab it. I was considering casting off a pair of socks with this yarn, which is from Pixie Yarns, and taking that with me, but I think I've decided not to. I'll come on to what I'm going to take with me in a minute, but I don't think I'm going to take socks with yarn for socks with me. If I did, I am taking some needles in order to knit socks, so some 2.5mm circular needles from Magic Loop. So if I do decide to cast on a pair of socks, I can buy some sock yarn in Norway and cast on with that. I'm thinking maybe for the way back, when I'm traveling home again in 10 days. I don't feel like I've made a lot of progress on my knitting projects this week, but that is because I've been working on these deadlines. One of the smallest project I was knitting myself, and I have finished that, but I had a bit of problems with the last bit of it. Can't tell you too much because it'll probably give away what it is, but I have finished it, but I had awful problems with the end of it. I don't know why, because it's very similar to something I've done before. Okay, so I'm going to just put some of these on the ends of my needles because I have a lot of stitches on here and I don't want them to fall off. I think I may have to put it onto a longer circular needle. So last week, I think I tried this on and trying to decide whether I had knitted far enough to reach the underarm. So it's knitted from the top down, and I think I was kind of a bit unsure about whether it was long enough or not. So I decided to knit a few more rows. So I basically done an extra 8 rows. So let me just try and work out the best way to show you this. So I'm basically now reached the underarm, and I've joined the like underarm bit this right? Hang on. I'm hoping I've done this right, because I did this just before I came upstairs when I was having my break earlier. Just before I came upstairs to finish some pattern writing, I did this, and I just hope I've done it right. I've got a feeling I haven't. Right, okay. I should have probably put these on some longer needles or stitch holders to be able to show you this better, but let's see what we can do. Okay, so that's one side. I think I've actually done something wrong with the way I've joined it. Yes, I have. Okay. Yeah. I joined some stitches at the underarm. So this goes, the top of the garment goes out to my elbows. Then I joined it here, the front and back, and cast off some stitches. And I've actually done it wrong on one piece and twisted it. It's just the last bit I did before I came up. So that's wrong. So that needs to be fixed. That's why I couldn't get this to look right. But on the other side, that's the front. And that's the back. So since last week, I have on both the two fronts and the back, I didn't have any left of that purple one, so I've been joining in a blue instead. So I basically started now. So I'm using yarn from Pixie Yarns, UK indie dyer, and told you for the rustling. I had 200-gram skeins, both one-off colorways, and then I had her Spring Equinox, hang on, that's here, Spring Equinox semi-solid set, Summer Solstice set, which is the one I've used. So this pink one here is from the Summer Solstice, and this purple one here, hang on, that's the wrong side. This purple one here is from the Summer Solstice set. One of the colours from the Summer Solstice set I used for swatching, and it was the colour I liked the least. And there's another colour, this one, which I don't think goes with the other colours, so I've left that one out for now. And then now I've started using the Yule Solstice. I've been saying that I wasn't sure if I had enough yarn. I actually looked at my spreadsheet, and according to my spreadsheet I should need 600 grams, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have 600 because I also have this one, which is another Spring Equinox set. This is semi-solid based on sparkle. This is speckled on sparkle sock. This is speckled on sparkle sock. This is semi-solid on the same yarn as I'm using for the rest of it. So I don't know. I wish I'd got this in this speckled, but I haven't. So I started using this one. There was a blue, hang on, where is it there? So I'm using that blue, alternating it with that one. I'm going to run out of this before I run out of all these minis. So I kind of wish now that I'd striped the whole bit, that I'd striped the top bit as well. But I'm not re-knitting it, so we're just going to have to make the best of it. So I've decided I'm going to take this to Norway with me. I've been umming and ahhing about it. I'd actually planned to take something else. Let me just grab something a minute. So for a while now, a few weeks, I've been thinking I would take, not all of this, but part of my Truly Hooked advent calendar from last year, 2023. I know I'm going to knit with it. I was thinking about taking some of these skeins with me to cast on for this new project, because it would be smaller basically, but I haven't had time to swatch because of all these deadlines and everything else going on. I haven't had time to swatch, and I don't want to take it with me, have to knit a swatch, block it, work out the pattern details and all that kind of stuff while I'm on holiday. So I'm decided I'm going to take the cardigan that I'm already working on. So I'm going to take this cardigan instead. I'm not going to take this leather bag because it'll take up too much space. I'm going to see if I can fit it into this bag, because if I finish the cardigan, this can just go in the bottom of my suitcase. Doesn't take up too much space. And then I think I'm going to take that yarn and this. I'm thinking whether I should take that as well. Just take all of it, shove it all in. So that's it. That's all I've been knitting this week. So I'm thinking about taking that cardigan with me to Norway. I'm also thinking about taking something else with me to Norway, and I did mention this last week. Now I've got a pile of samples I've got to post today, and I just need to find, oh there we go, it's kind of been buried under all these samples, and I pulled the yarn out for it and I printed off the pattern, but I was thinking about this morning I might make some changes to the pattern. So I mentioned last week that I found this cowl that I knitted a few years ago called Portobello. I knitted it in a cashmere, so soft. It's a little bit small for me, and what I've been thinking about doing is re-knitting it. So I've been looking through my DK stash because I want to re-knit it in DK yarn. Somebody commented and said they thought it would look good in one of my Spectrum Fibre Yarn Club skeins. This is January and February. I don't want to use that for the cowl because I'm going to use it for something else. But I did look through my stash, and this arrived recently in February from Spectrum Fibre, and it is the, what's it called? Love Hearts. And that's the DK. It's a little bit brighter, I think, than what it looks on my screen. But I really like that. I have a lot of pink cowls. I had some pink yarn from Spectrum Fibre as well. But I have a lot of pink cowls. I'm thinking this would be quite good. I think I look better with brighter colours, but I like this. Then I was thinking maybe I should knit it in a yarn that actually sells so that I can display it at shows and make it do double duty, if you like. So I looked through my Monos Uruguay Silk blend and looked at the colours, and I really like this one. But I'm not sure whether 50 grams is going to be enough. This is knitted in 50 gram. But I'm thinking about making a modification, and I'm also going to use bigger needles because this is thicker than this. This is called DK, but it's more of a 4-ply really. So I'm not sure the 50 grams is going to be enough. So I'm going to leave this one at home for now, put that back on the shelf, and I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to try and wind this afternoon. What I'm thinking about doing is, when I finish filming this, I'm going to film a couple other quick videos, and then I'm going to go downstairs and have lunch, unpick the mistake I made on that cardigan earlier, put that right, and then probably pack that to make sure I can fit it in my suitcase. And then I'm going to wind, then I got to run some errands and things, come back, edit this video, a few other things, and then I need to do my nails because they look terrible, and then I can just sit and relax till dinner. And I think I might wind this yarn then and cast them for this cowl, and then I'm going to have a very early night tonight because I'm really tired because I didn't sleep very well last night. I was basically awake on and off from like 3 o'clock. So I'm very tired. I need to have I got to leave before 6 tomorrow. I got to be at the station just after 6. We're less than 10 minutes drive from the station, so I would probably leave by 10 to 6. So I'm going to get up at 5, and because I got to get up so early, what I normally do, little secret into my travel life, is I shower in the evening and wash my hair and blow dry it. Then I get up in the morning and I just have a quick refresh in the shower without getting my hair wet, and then get dressed, do my makeup, everything, and yeah, so that my morning routine's a bit quicker. So I think what I'm going to do is pack the cardigan in my suitcase, but probably get it out and work on it on the train, because as long as the train's not busy, I don't think it will be. The last few times I've been on the train to London, it's been very, very quiet, especially that this is the first morning train from Cornwall to London. And the last couple of times I've been on it, it's been very quiet. I mean, I haven't been on it since last September and beginning of last year, but it was very, very quiet. So if it's quiet, then I'll probably be able to open my suitcase and pull my knitting project out before I put it on the rack. I can probably fit it in my backpack. I might put it in my suitcase, just make sure it'll fit in there. Then if I have plenty in my backpack, maybe put it in there and then put it in my suitcase when I get to London. Then at the airport and on the plane, if I knit on the plane, I'll probably work on this because it's a smaller project and just easier to work on. And then when I get to Norway, this will be my out and about project till I finish it. And that's why I said I'm taking my needles that I use for sock knitting, so that when I finish this, if I need a small project for out and about knitting, portable knitting, I can buy some sock yarn and cast them for another pair of socks. And then I can work on the cardigan when we're at my parents' place. So that's my plans. I have also got all my notions and things packed in here, all the needles I think I'm going to need, plus a few extra. Got quite a few needles with me. I've just packed the ones I think I might need. Packed a couple of row counters in case I need them, some pens, pencil. I've got a crochet hook for adding beads, which I'm not going to need because I'm not going to do anything with beads. I'm going to take that one out actually because I don't need that. I've got a post-it note. I've got some small scales. I've also got my I've got some of these which I think I might take out as well. Some of these clippy things if I need them. I got a couple of these stitch holder things if I need them to put my cardigan on so I can try it on. And a eraser and pencils and pens, a few different bits and pieces in here. So I use this when I travel because I can fit everything I need in here. And then I have my notions tin. Normally I can fit this in here as well, but I think I've got too much other stuff in there. I've just noticed I've actually got 3 row counters in here. I'm not going to need 3 row counters. So let's take one of those out. I've got a row counter in my project. This one's got 29 on it. I'm wondering if that was part of a project. I don't know. Take that one out. Don't think I'm going to need it. I've got 2 row counters here. That'll probably be plenty. And then this is my notions tin where I have stitch markers, another tape measure, waist down for afterthought heel, a thing to put those stitch holder cords, barber cords things, a little tiny crochet hook, some sewing needles, some tiny scissors. You're allowed to take scissors on the plane with blades less than 6 centimeters, I think it is. These are probably less than a centimeter. And just a few other bits and pieces in here. So that's what I take with me when I travel. Before I finish, let's just talk quickly about the videos I've got coming up. On Tuesday this week, I released a video on my design in Simply Knitting 248. I showed it off last week on the podcast, or I showed you the magazine. So that video will be out on tomorrow, the day after I film this. I'm filming this on Monday. So it'll be out on Tuesday the 12th. So it'll be on YouTube before this video. So I talk about the design I designed for Simply Knitting 248, which is a cabled sweater worked on a stocking stitch background. And then next week on Tuesday there will be a video which was supposed to go out this week, but I got filmed that video for Simply Knitting 248 instead, so I bumped it by a week. So next week there'll be a video on my top tips for traveling with your knitting. So what I think about planning which projects to take. I'm breaking some of those rules on this trip, which notions and things to take, how to travel with your needles and knitting needles and things like that. So that video will be out next Tuesday. There won't be a podcast next Thursday, I don't think, because I'm coming back from Norway on Thursday and I don't think I want to film a podcast at my parents'. There will be another video. I do have one in reserve that I can release, but I will probably try and film a bit of a travel vlog. So my plan is tomorrow is to try and film a bit of a travel vlog. I'm travelling up to London on my own, and then I'm meeting my oldest daughter in London. She's coming up from Wales. Fortunately, the trains from Cornwall and the trains from South Wales come into the same station in London, which is really good. So she gets in about 40 minutes after me, and then we're going to travel together to Norway. So I don't know how much filming and vlogging I will do tomorrow because I'm not going to be on my own for the whole trip. But we are going to have, if everything's on time, train-wise, we could have a lot of time at the airport. So I get into London about 10 and my daughter gets in about 40 minutes after me. And our flight is not till 6 in the evening. If we go straight through to Stansted and through security, we could be through security by midday, 12:30. We'll probably get some to get brunch or something in London. And then I need to pop the Specsavers because my glasses, one of the arms is a bit wobbly, and there's a Specsavers near the train station that we're leaving London from. So if we got time, I might pop in there and get them just to sort out this. I've tried to tighten up this screw, but I can't tighten it up enough to stop it wobbling. And I'm going to wear my contact lenses probably most of the time when I'm in Norway, but I do want to make sure that my glasses are working. They're less than a year old, so I'm not impressed. So I think I'm going to try and see if I can get that done while we're in London tomorrow. So I don't know how much filming I'll do, but otherwise there might be some other vlogging happening in Norway. It just depends on what we do and how much knitting I get done and what else we do. hopefully I'll be able to visit a few yarn shops and film that. So I think there'll probably be some kind of vlog next Thursday instead of a podcast. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too long because I've got to edit it and I've got a lot to do, so I need to get on. Got another 2 short videos to film before I have lunch, and then run some errands, post all these samples, and then come back and edit this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. You can find a link to everything I've talked about below this video. Just click more and it'll open up the comments below the title of this video. You can click more and it'll open up all my blurb, where you can find links to find me on social media, my website, my online courses, all that kind of stuff. My online shop is actually closed now till I come back. I'm reopening it probably next Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I come back from Norway on Thursday. Then I will post any orders on Friday. And then I'm teaching next Saturday. So in addition to everything else I've had to do this week, and I was teaching last Saturday as well, I've actually also got all the stuff ready for the workshop after I come back from Norway, because I've only got one day to kind of recover and I don't want to work that day. I will double check I've got everything I need for my workshop, but apart from that, I'm not intending to work that day, because I've got to be fit and ready to teach the next day. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.